The battle for the AFC wild cards heating up as 9 teams are in the hunt for the 3 spots. Stop looking at me, Acho. With only 5 weeks left in the season, it's time for us to reveal the 3 teams we think will make the cut. I'll get things started with my first team in, of course. Put it up there, the best colors, best uniforms, best team. The Los Angeles Chargers. Acho Mania, I would like to hear who your first team is.
I'm right there with you, big dog. I think the Chargers, I know we're not necessarily doing this by the seeding order, but I think the Chargers will end up as the 5th seed. I think not only are the Chargers going to be in the playoffs as one of those wild card spots, they will be the most comfortable wild card spot. After seeing them beat the Bengals last week, I realized, wait a second, this Chargers not only is a good team, but that Bengals win is important because they will end up neck and neck with the Bengals for one of those wild card spots.
Yeah, we ain't need all those disqualifiers, okay? You know, disqualify this and qualify that. Chargers are a squad, and you got to respect this team. This team is lethal on offense because of that guy right there, Justin Herbert. One of only 3 teams to score over 40 points this year. You saw him light up the Cincinnati Bengals in the game, which is going to have playoff implications. The team is just loaded, and all they have to do is play consistently. But in terms of talent, up there, top tier. All right, let's go to my number 2 team. Boy, we just put up my whole resume. Let's go with my team, the Buffalo Bills. I would like you to top that.
Very easy for me. My 6th seed, which is my second team, will be the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the reason they're my 6th is because we just saw the Chargers beat them last week. When push comes to shove, head-to-head, the Bengals are going to fall behind the Chargers. I think the Bengals' offense, too high-powered. I think, yes, Joe Burrow is young like so many of these other young quarterbacks. The difference for me between Joe Burrow and some of the other young quarterbacks, Joe Burrow has elite confidence. It isn't always merited, it isn't always deserved, but Joe Burrow, even when he went to LSU from Ohio State, dumb confident. Rookie year, tore his ACL, MCL, came back sophomore season, dumb confident. I think the Bills will find themselves in the playoffs.
This is interesting. I want to argue against the Bengals, but I don't know who your 3rd selection is right there, but the Bengals are not better than the Buffalo Bills, even though we're sputtering right now, and we lost a close one, a weird one. Can you tell people about those weather conditions when you go out there, bruh? No one knows how to play football the right way.
Once again, I played, and y'all look it up. It was the Lions play the Eagles. It must have been 2013 or 14. Eagles, we can't plow the field because our field was grass. You plow the field, you can't plow it. So our snow, we had like 8 inches of snow pre-game. You literally just can't do anything. You're just sloshing out there around in the worst way. You get to the bench, the heated benches, and you just sit there, wait to heat up and de-thaw until you got to go out on the field again. That Bills-Patriots game, it was a weird game. The only reason I knocked the Bills for that game, because both teams had to play in the conditions, and the Bills were at home. If the Bills were on the road, or say it was like the Chargers and they had to play in weird conditions, I'd give the Chargers some grace. But Bills, y'all should be used to that. That's why, although it was a weird game, an incredibly weird game, I still knocked the Bills down for it.
Wow, I was in Buffalo. We had to play in Green Bay. Wind chill, 20 below. Got a fumble, picked it up, and was running. No one around me, just dropped it. It's too damn cold, Coach. All right. Now, I got to push back on you on this Bengals one. The pinky of Joe Burrow and the hot and cold, the up and down roller coaster ride of Joe Burrow this season. How's that going to play for
They are very up and down. They are very hot and cold. But there's something about a quarterback, a team that has undeserved confidence that I like in game.
You like that?
In game.
What are they standing on?
Here's why. Because when you don't even realize what you should and shouldn't do, that's sometimes the most dangerous player. We can talk casino, whether it's like you that one time. You said I had 20 and I split it. That's the most dangerous player, positively and negatively. Because if you do split that 20, what happens if you pull 2 10s or 2 aces? Now you just doubled your money. Should you have done it? Not necessarily, but sometimes no risk, no reward. I think the Bengals, they play incredibly risky, but they just have the big rewards at the end because of how risky they play.
Okay. All right. We got one more slot right here that's blank. Let's fill it in. I've been converted. All right, my final team are the Indianapolis Colts. And I don't even want to talk about this. Don't you dare. You better say your 3rd team and get me off this spotlight right now.
I'm right there with you, big dog. I got the Colts. So I have my 5 seed, I have my 6 seed, I have my 7 seed.
Wait a minute.
It is no mistake, because I do not have the Bills winning the
that's what I'm saying. Oh, so they're winning the division. And New England's not in? What are you doing here? I don't get how you playing this.
The Bills are going to miss the playoffs.
Sal, What?
Let me break this down for you.
Yeah.
Let me break this down
for you. Sounds broken already. Go.
The Bills have the worst conference record of these three teams. The Bills' AFC record is 5-5.
Okay.
Keep in mind, these teams are all Chargers, Bengals, Colts, all have 2 additional conference wins in comparison to the Bills. Or they have 2 less losses. Either way, 2 games up in conference.
I'm listening.
When you talk about wild card decider, it comes down to conference record after you get to head-to-head. Other thing you have to keep in mind, Bills still have to play the 9-3 Bucks, and they have to play the Patriots again.
Yes.
I do not see them winning both those games, and I almost don't see them winning either of those games, Sel. So I need you to wrestle with that and tell me, how do you still see the Bills making it, knowing they still got to play the Bucks, they still got to play the Patriots, and they have to play a Panthers team that has Cam Newton. Maybe he'll hit, maybe he'll miss. That's where I'm stuck on.
Okay, let me wrestle with it right now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, pin them down because the Bills are better than the Bengals. See, going into the Chargers game, you said that the Bengals could beat the Chargers. You said the Bengals would beat the Chargers. Bengals didn't beat the Chargers. So if you have the better team in this situation, I think they're going to figure it out. They're 4-2 on the road. So this is a team that can travel well. That game against the Patriots didn't tell me anything about the matchup going forward with them and the Patriots. I'm just going with the better team. I'm not going into, conference tiebreakers, et cetera, because I don't think they're going to even finish with the same record.
But it's not just about better team. We always say it's all relative. So better team has to play the better competition. When I look at it, man, the Bengals only got to play the Chiefs. Bengals got to play the Ravens. These Bills have to play are the Bills going to beat the Buccaneers? Let's start there. Bills going to beat the Bucs when they have to play them.
They're going to beat one of those 2 teams, if not both.
Either the Bucs or the Patriots.
Yes.
I think it's more likely they lose both of those games than win both those games. Do you disagree with that?
I disagree with that, and it's time to put something on this. You talk a lot of gambling, but you don't like to gamble. Let's roll. Are you going to say your board is going to be more accurate than my board right here? And basically, we're just talking about the second slot. Put some money on it. You got all that money?
To bet on national television? I do trust my board over your board, but it really comes down to Chargers we're both in agreement on. Honestly, if we're wrong, I think we are both wrong here.
Really?
If we're wrong, I think we're both wrong with the Colts. My confidence in the Colts comes with the fact they've won 4 out of their last 5. Their only losses to the Bucs.
Yeah,
but by putting the Colts there, Sal, keep in mind, we're discounting the Raiders. We're discounting the Steelers. We're discounting the Broncos. We're discounting the Browns. Browns, I'm fine discounting. But we're discounting a Steelers team that's probably going to steal a win tonight against the Vikings. And all of a sudden, the Steelers are sitting pretty with 7 wins. Remember, they have a tie. So if we're wrong, I actually think this is where we share an error. Now, I don't really know if it's going to be that second slot. It's going to be the Colts at that last slot.
Man, I'll just call you scared money, don't make no money. You had an opportunity to believe and actually bet on yourself. Couldn't even do that.